Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another part of Marvelous Iggy Plays Shovel Knight. Last time we defeated Treasure Knight in his underwater sea base, and first off we got this little hidden area, which is the Knuckles Quarry. That sort of punching move we got in, I believe, not Mole Knight stage. Here you can use it to its ability. You know, as you can see, you can, as we've seen demonstrated in levels before, just punch your way through blocking to get magically carries you. Again, this little bonus area, nothing too spectacular here, but I still think it's cool how you literally punch your way in the air. Like, the momentum is so fast. I love it. I wish this was like a real thing we could do, like create gauntlets that will make you propel yourself forward just by punching constantly. I think it'd be so badass. Oh, these assholes are back and they will destroy the floor, so you want to take them out. Just punch them. Over and over again. I think that's a JoJo thing, right? Yeah, that's a JoJo thing. Actually, it's a Virtual Fighter thing before it was a JoJo thing. There's a character, oh god, in Virtual Fighter, is Akira. He's like the main character, the Ryu of the game, and he, like, one of the things he'll say is ora, and he just yells it for no reason. And for some reason, one of his catchphrases is Junin Daendayo. I think I'm saying that right. And that literally means to you're 10 years too early to beat me, or something like that. And I don't know why, but like, if I ever make it big at a tournament and like I bodied some dude, which will never happen, I will yell out Junin Daendayo, you know. And I just think it's so cool. You're 10 years too early to fight me. But I love this little area. It's just so satisfying to do this. I wish the game had more stuff like this, but maybe that's why they, more levels had something like this, or maybe that's why they put it in the general level. But I don't think there's anything here except the musical note and more gems. Again, get that money. Get that cash money. Yeah, there's the musical note. But that's it. That's it for that level. So, you know, just get out of your way. It's something to do. Let's see. And then next up, oh yeah, and we got this. I love how random they are. And again, this is using, and I don't think this changes, where I think it's always going to land here. By the way, those are not bottomless pits. That's how you progress in the level, although it sucks when you can't get the gem. And the interesting thing about this one is that you actually have to pick. So you may not be able to get all the gems in one going like that. So you have to be careful on how you progress if you want to get all the gems. I think I do miss quite a lot, which I think to people who have OCD, you may not want to watch this episode just because, or at least this particular part, just because it gets a little crazy, or it gets I like miss it and I just don't go back from it. Just like, whatever. I already got enough money as it is. Here you just gotta time your jumps. Thankfully the little bubbles, they give you plenty of time to jump away. Nothing too difficult about it. I get everything there, which is nice. Oh, and then we got these guys. Again, not a bottomless pit underneath there, thankfully. But if you want to get all the gems, just gently hop over there. I missed that one, which I should have started from right to left. I think you get something. I think I'm gonna go to the right. Oh my god, that's a lot of gems. That's a lot of gems. And again, I love sticking to. Oh no, that's the end of the level. Never mind. I thought there was more for some reason. Who would have known? And then I go back to the village. I still, from the last part, I still didn't refill my, put in my extra meal ticket, which again, that'll get me up to full health. And I think I can afford one more blue upgrade. Actually, I think maybe it caps at 90. I think it just caps at 90. So yeah, there you go, fully upgraded. I think you get an achievement for that. I think. I could be wrong, but I think you get an achievement for it. Yeah, there you go. I think that's maxed out. So yeah, now I have 100 magic, and full health, which is pretty cool. All before the final level. So again, if you also, there's a catapult here for some reason, and I didn't mean to do this, but this actually takes you to that other town that we found a couple parts ago. So it's a pseudo fast travel. Not that you really need it in this game, considering how quick it is. But like, hey, if you're here and you need to go to town, why not just go here? You know, and that. There's actually another area that the catapult's in. It's towards the latter half of the map. But you can then use it to transport. You never get to choose. It always starts at the original town, to the second town, and so on, and then reverses, and then it goes basically in a loop. You know, it's always there. So it doesn't go away. It doesn't cost anything to use. And I think actually we're going to show off a unique thing in Shovel Knight. As we see this weird chicken man who is, you know, he just loves airships. And then there's this gnome, I'm going to call him a gnome, with this big old horn. Which I like, why? Like, I love the NPCs in this game. They don't really do much overall, but I love how weird they are. And, you know, speaking of this, now this is your armory. Here you can unlock different abilities. You get the charge handle, trench blade, and then as I scroll over, there you go, and the job spark. Each gives your shovel unique different abilities to deal with situations. Like one of them, if you can charge it. One of them, if you hit the ground and charge. It's very helpful. And then here we have different armors. You got red, purple, gray, black, and gold. The red through black all have different unique properties. Like the purple will like reduce how much money you drop. The red gives you more magic. The black basically doesn't allow knockback. But the gold doesn't do anything. It just looks cool. And what do I buy? Of course I'm buying the gold armor. When I first played this game, that's the first thing I bought. I got the gold armor, and it gives you a little flip animation. It doesn't do anything. It has no special properties, but it looks so cool. Like, I love like the little sparkle effects at the end. Like, how do you not want this? Like, the Shovel Knight canonically is not a vain character. He just isn't. But I love that, like, but they just created this armor, and they're like, it doesn't do anything, but it looks cool. Like, you're damn right I'm gonna go be decked out all in gold. And then, so I decided to cut out, as you can see, I went from the overworld to the stage. I cut out the travel section because it felt it was weird. I figured just cut a little bit more time. Again, I'm still new to this editing stuff. Somewhat editing, I guess. But this is Tinker Knight's stage. He is the obligatory clock tower level in this game. And when I first played this game, it reminded me of one thing. And I'm going to ask this to anybody who's watching this. If anybody played Batman 89 for the Sega Genesis, and the thing is, and I'm learning, I think I might one of the only few people who did, because most people think of Batman 89 for a video game. They think of the NES game, which I never played back in the day. My experience with Batman 89 was the Genesis game, and there was a certain way that game sounded on Genesis that, like, I have it instilled in my mind. And this particular soundtrack, this particular piece by Jake Kaufman, sounds like a level. Like, there's like a sewer level you're in, or actually not sewer level. It's Axis Chemicals. It's one of the first levels in the game, and it sounds. It's not exactly. I'm not saying it's a ripoff or anything, but it has that sort of feeling of it, and I don't know why, and it drives me crazy. But I love this stage. I love this stage. There's a lot of gimmicks. There's a lot of great gimmicks in the stage. There's a lot of fun enemies. A lot of great platforming challenges. I love how you can see all the gears in the background. Like, what do all these gears do? I don't know. Who cares? They just look cool. But this is definitely one of the more difficult stages. There are things that can drop on you randomly, like these gold ones. They just keep coming out. Like, something's falling apart, but I guess Tinker Knight's too busy to discover what it is. But also, you get one of the cooler power-ups in this game, in the entire game in this level. You know, you can poke your way across. But I love the design of this one. You know, you have this being a clock tower or like a machine type area. It's not a clock tower, but it feels like a clock tower. You have these, constant gears going, and you have the old brown brick, and then of course you have the vibrant purple walls. Like, I just love how it looks. Like, it feels like a factory setting more than anything. Like, this stage can get pretty difficult at points, especially towards the latter half, if you're not prepared. And even if you're prepared, and you get caught off, you may be in for a quick death. And then of course this asshole enemy is back. He'll just chomp at you with the bits as I struggle to try to deal with him. And again, if you see that little wizard enemy, he's actually foreshadowing a weapon we're gonna get in this stage. That's actually very, very useful. And it's actually helpful against the boss. And that's one thing I like about this game, is that it doesn't follow the Zelda trope of, like, you find the special weapon inside the inside the area, and then that's how you deal with the boss. Like, it definitely helps. Like you just saw last time, I tried to use the Anchor Knight against Treasure Knight, but here, this is the only instance I can think of where that happens, where you use the weapon you find in the level to help fight the boss. But I don't want to say too much about the boss because it's a pretty good one when we get to it. I like these guys looking. They kind of look like medieval Ghostbusters with like their freaking power packs on their back. Like, I don't know what their deal is. They shoot out these weird... I think that's magma on the back. Like, I feel like they're shooting out liquid hot magma as I channel my inner Dr. Evil right there. But yeah, this... oh god, I hate these enemies. Thankfully, Yakuza Claims manages to make them... put them in places where you don't want to deal with them, but doesn't overtly do it, like some games might do, where you're constantly seeing that one asshole enemy over and over again, and it makes going through sections a pain. You know, and nobody wants to do that. Oh god. Nobody ever really wants to deal with enemies. Like it's one thing when you, like, it's like the new Mr. X in Resident Evil 2, kind of, where like he shows up at the right time, but yet he shows up at not the right time. But it's never, at least it never felt overly done from what I've seen. Or at least, maybe I'm wrong. It could be equally annoying. And then we got these flying missiles. You just gotta be careful dodging them, just because you have a pit of spikes. But thankfully, invisibility frames are a thing, and then the invisibility cloak is also a thing too. So you have literally nothing to worry about. Yeah, I hate that. That's a nice gotcha right there. Where, like, you know, hey, you think you're good? You think you got this? And all of a sudden, bam, you're being chopped to bits, and I don't like that. And I think the game fully expects you to use the visibility ring right there. This guy, this is the Red Knight. I don't know if he has a proper name or not, but he can be vicious. So I just take him out. I just cheap him out like a bitch. And because he can take a good chunk of your health off, and he's very defensive. So again, play it smart. And I think this is where we get the cool new power up for this stage. Again, you can miss it. Like, if you're not paying attention, you can perfectly miss this and miss out on such a great little Easter egg that happens at the end of the level. Chester, how did you get in here? I want to know. What are you doing? Why are you in these chests? I have so many questions. I kind of hope Chester plays a role in King Knight. Like, certain NPCs in like Shovel and Plague Knight and Spectre Knight play a bigger role, so I hope that's the case with Chester. And that's the power up. As you can see, it's a little gear wheel thing. It can help you basically act as that's one of its purposes, to get to higher places. Not really though. This is its actual use. You can ride on it, and it will magically jump over pits and ride over spikes like it's nothing. You don't have to jump. It'll do it automatically, and it'll stick to walls. So I jump prematurely. That's just because my habit. But you could just you could just relax and let it do it for you. It's a really good power up. Although it reminds me of the spinning wheel from Twilight Princess, in that it's a very cool idea, but it's not utilized enough. At least to me, like, I never felt the need to use it in situations outside of this level. Even against like normal enemies, just because like I felt the area was too small, or, you know, is it going to go over? How far is the range to jump over a bottomless pit? You know, it's hard to tell sometimes. As I constantly try to get through this. This is you want to talk about anxiety? That's anxiety. Thankfully, thanks to the magical power of editing, I can just skip all that. Y'all don't have to watch that. I did to edit it down to make sure I wasn't leaving anything in. And of course here you can use the gear move again. I died somehow. I don't remember how. I think I might have just mistimed my jump. You know, just use it again, and then it'll disappear after a while once it hits a wall. I don't know why I did that. I could just take the gear. Like, there's no reason for me to do that, but it's the same either way. You know, this is beautiful about this game is that multiple ways to complete something. Sometimes, not all the time. This is pretty fun. You got a little mini auto scroller, although it's not really you that's auto scrolling. And I think I get smushed. Yep, I get smushed right there. Rip. It's very tight fitting. So just be careful with that, especially with this asshole. You know, don't get flustered when you're fighting him. You just either try to get away from him or deal with it. No, my Ruby clown. I think you actually could maybe ride the gear and all the way down. Like, I don't see any reason why you couldn't. but I just don't do it because I wanted to show off the level and, you know, fight the enemies. Although I guess the enemies would be able to knock you over, so like that's a downside. So maybe don't do that, as I completely missed right there with the inkers multiple times. And the ghost is just chilling. He's just like leaves me alone. I think we're getting towards the latter half. Yeah, we're getting towards the end of the stage. This is not a lot. This is a deceptively long stage, especially if it's your first time. It can feel long just because how many times you die, but for the most part, it's not that long. It's pretty short in comparison to other stages. As I forget how to do the trigger button switch. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I didn't forget. It's just that you can't. You actually cannot use. For some reason, you cannot select the E-cores with the trigger buttons. You have to manually select them, which I find that really weird. Like, you know, you can select everything else, and they're an item that I use in the sub menu. So why not just let me? You know, why not just let me? You know, pick them. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. But you know, it is what it is, I guess. And like again, I have a feeling like this workshop or whatever it is falling apart, just because, you know, these gold gears are just flying out of nowhere. Like, why? What's going on? Like, Tinker Knight, are you not paying attention to anything? Like, what's going on? But you know, nothing too bad. Nothing too bad. Again, with the Ghostbusters are back again. You know, just scepter them to death. Nothing. You know, I think this is a secret area actually. And you can miss this again if you're going the wrong way. And again, those spooks are there. I don't know what their official name is, but I'm gonna call them spooks. For some, they're just in the worst places sometimes, and just like, I'm like, why do I have to deal with you now? I have to deal with so much other crap. As you can see here, we got elevated platforms. Like, this is the game actually teasing you that we'll be dealing with this momentarily. So just get used to that idea, since we weren't dealing with it before. And then this is a auto-scroller section. I'm convinced that they took this auto-scroller section and put it into Inspector Knight, because Inspector Knight, there's a section where you, part of the castle, of Inspector Knight's castle, oh, actually I believe it's Enchantress's castle, that you can play as a minigame that you can keep climbing, and it's basically about memorization and memorization and good platforming skills as you go vertically up. As you go up, that's the same thing, idiot. To your and you get to see how far you can go. And I have a feeling this is where like the sort of the genesis was, because it's sort of the same idea, except this one has a finite ending. There has to be a ending, a finiteness to it in Spectre Knight. I just don't know. So, and I actually think we're at the end of the level, which is pretty cool. Again, nothing too terrible. As you can see, I died a couple of times, but it's not too bad. Also, I love how extra he is. He's literally in a basement. Like, I like that idea that we have to go into the basement to get him. And then yeah, that's Tinker Knight. You know, pretty imposing. And I like how Shovel Knight's like, he doesn't want to fight. You know, he's like, dude, it's okay, we don't have to fight. And like Tinker Knights, of course we have to fight. You know, but and yeah, he throws a, yeah, this is a boss fight. He's pretty easy. It's pretty hard. You know, I don't know how I'm gonna defeat him. Oh, game over, guys. Wait, the music's playing. There's Tinker Knight. He's floating. Oh God! Yeah, I love this twist. By the way, I didn't know that you could instantly kill his first form, with that until I saw like another commentary of it, which is actually pretty cool. So do that. It saves you time, because it will drain a little bit of health, and then you have to deal with this guy at like half health. It's not fun. But I love this thing. It reminds me like an old school Mega Man boss, like how absurd it is and how big it is, and like you can only jump on certain platforms, you can only hit a certain spot. Like, this is to me the most Mega Man that Shovel Knight's felt. And like the unnecessary spike pad, shoulder pad on the bottom, you can see he has like a barrel cannon. Maybe that's a Donkey Kong Country reference, who knows? I kind of hope it is. If it's not, I'm gonna make it up that way. But like the big chest plate looks like something out of a train. You know, I love like the sort of gear, the treads, looks like it's made out of wood. like it's such a cool design, you know. You know, again, I love the fake out. You know, that like, oh, you think you're gonna fight this little tiny guy? It's gonna be easy. Like, nope, deal with this. But even then, not that hard. You know, it's all about evasion for this. Nothing too bad. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna do it for this episode. Thank you for watching as always, and remember, no matter what, stay marvelous. Have a good time, everybody.